I'm pregnant. I remember very well that I was very, very excited, being that. Hello, welcome to Nurse Maggie 046. And if you're new here, my name is Maggie, and you're coming back for more. You know me already. My name is Maggie, and I live in Sweden, and I'm a mother of two. And today I'm going to talk about the death of my sister, how it all began, and how she ended up dying during her childbirth or in the process of giving birth. So if you want to know all the information about childbirth and how it can lead to death and you never come back, I will talk to you about my friendship with my sister, the last letter I received from my sister, the last time we met as people. So stay tuned. So me and my sister, we were really, really close. You will excuse me that I will get, maybe I didn't want to get so emotional in this video because I'm looking at it as something educative to people, but yeah, she was my sister and she meant the world to me. So we were very close, and I remember as a student, those people who went to St. Mary's Kitenda, you remember that my sister always came to visit me. Even though she had no money, she would come, and she never ever missed any VD or visitation day. When it was time for me to go back to school, she made sure I had everything that I needed, that she was always there for me, as in she was my best friend. If you know having a sister who is your friend, I'm very sure you can tell what I mean. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my sister and everything. I will try my best and see how I can make it short but very educative. So being that we were so much in contact with my sister, I remember it was around 2000. I came to Sweden 2008, I think. Yeah, 8 something. 2008 in October. So 2009, the end of 2009, my sister became so sick, and they had to do an operation which was coming from the heart downwards. So that operation, that she was sick and she was there for almost quite a year. She was actually there for almost a year, because by the time I gave birth to my daughter, 2010, my sister was just recovering from the sickness. So everyone thought she would die that day, and they never thought that she would actually survive that very moment when she was very sick. And so everyone was crying, this and that, but thank God that she survived and she lived more years. So let me tell you a little about my sister. My sister died when she was around 36 years old. I don't remember. I know. She was around 36 years old, and she was carrying her fourth baby, we can say. Yes, her fourth baby, because as a child she got married as an 18-year-old. I think she was about 18 years when she got married, and when she got married, the relationship was not good, and she left with 2 children, and unfortunately her firstborn, Carol, may you rest also in eternal peace. Carol died in 2005. Carol died 2005 of a car accident, a speeding car accident, and it was all drama because she wasn't living with us. She was living with her stepmom, and she was made to cross the road, and that's how she died. Well, the baby she was expecting was her fourth baby, and she was excited. We all know that we fall in love, but when you find the right one, we always try so much to have children. Like my sister fell in love with a guy, or with her husband. As Africans people, we believe that a man who loves you will come to your family, and they will do the introduction and then the marriage and everything. Being that said, my sister's boyfriend had been home by Anjura traditional marriage, and it was a very successful one. And a few years later, my sister was like, no, I need to have a kid. My sister tried and tried and tried, and she failed. We suspect that because she had an operation, she went to the doctor anyways, there was something somewhere in there in her stomach that they had touched when they were doing an operation in Uganda. So that's why she had difficulties in having children. But we thank God that finally she got a baby. When she got a baby, remember it was in 2007. 2006 actually. I think it was around May time or May, April there. She called me and she was like, Maggie, guess what? I'm pregnant. I remember very well that I was very, very excited, being that, excuse me. I remember she called me. I was going to a friend and she was like, Maggie, you know what? I'm pregnant. I remember I shouted so loud, like I was on the way, I was walking, and I shouted and shouted and shouted. I was so happy. Like after a long time of trying, my sister was finally getting the dream, like making the dream come true. My sister was a very prayerful person. She was always in Makalango. She was always in Gogonya. She prayed. She prayed. And when she died, I asked why. Why, my sister? I remember one of the people who taught me how to pray was my sister. My sister could go to Gogonya. She would go to Bukarango. My sister Teyamisinganga Sangalo. And remember in 2016 when I went there, it was 2015 when I went there, Yangamba Maggie, go to Sangalo Jafune Magiro. She could testify the love of God. And when she died in a very weird, hurtful, painful way, I started questioning myself. I was like, she prayed a lot. What happened? What happened? At least she would have been sick for quite a while. And we said that we tried and we failed. But we never even tried a single day. We never did. So after telling them that she was pregnant, I told the news to my kids. They were very excited since that I have two children and they want little brother and sisters to play with and everything. So 2016 we went home in the holidays. And when we went home, my sister was looking beautiful. She was beautiful with her baby boy in the belly. I could listen to the baby and I could see the happiness in my sister's eyes. She was very happy. She was so thankful to God that finally her prayers were answered. That she was in love with the man who loved her. That's what hurts me most. She had finally settled because, African men, they are not easy. But finally finding a man who loves you the way you are, it's really hard. And I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to Mwami Moses. Thank you for loving my sister. Thank you. Maybe she never told you that, but she loved you too. My sister always referred to you like she was at home. She never lacked in your eyes, in your presence. She never lacked anything. She felt the love you gave her, and that's why she died trying. She died trying because she wanted to make you happy. She wanted to make you a father. She was a mother already. She had two children, even though one was gone. But she was at least contented as a human being. But she never ever wanted to live with you without giving you a kid. But God is grace. And God's decisions are always confusing. They are always confusing. God. So during the holiday in Uganda in December, I remember we had our Christmas. We were very happy. We were very excited. We are going to have a boy. And I love baby boys, by the way. And she has a son who is now 13. Tutu. Most people know Tutu, who went to St. Mary's Chitende. They know Tutu, who he is. Tutu means the world to me. And I was so excited to get a baby boy, another boy. Like, I was just excited. Little did I know that the excitement was going to end into tears. So we had our Christmas. It was very joyful because this time I always sleep with my sister. Whenever I visit Uganda, that's how much close we were. I would visit Uganda and I could stay with my sister. But this time I told her, since I'm coming with the kids, let me stay in my house. We rented somewhere near her house so that we could be at least not too much a distance from each other. My sister could just wake up every morning to come and prepare me breakfast. My sister loved me. My sister gave me everything that a sister would deserve, even more than I deserved. My sister was everything to me. She could wake up with her pregnancy. Najja nankulira nangamba, Magi talya migati, Magi talya muwogo bannange, Magi alya byenda ku makya. With her pregnancy, nakeera. Najja nankolera ebyenda, katogo k'ebyenda, because that's what I eating, and Ugandans, my sister alya mmanyi. Simala galya mmere. Nabagamba Magi talya bwatyo, Magi alya bwati. My sister knew me in and out. My sister loved me, and the way I didn't know that I loved her that much until when she is no more. We could talk always on the phones and everything. And in your surprise, I was big and I had children as well. But whenever I went to Uganda and visit friends, my sister would tell them, baby wafajja bannange, bana mutegeke baby wafajja, bana baby wafajja. One day twagenda wa landlady we namuintroducinga, namugamba sima mama ani, namugamba mama gundi, baby waffe yuno yazze tulabako bannange. That was 2016 actually, yeah. Namugamba baby waffe yazze tulabako, jangu omulabeko baby. Kati omukyala bwe yajja nangamba, ono omukazi omukulu alina n'abaana gw'oyita baby. Sister wange nangamba muleke omugalanda wa maama. Baby waffe muleke bannaye ffe tetulifunayo baby mulala. Goba maaso g'omukulu naye ffe maaso gaffe talikula. My sister was a darling. So everyone was giving gifts and everything, and everything. My sister gave me gifts, yes, as she always does when I'm in Uganda. But I'm going to read to you the last letter that I got from my sister, like a written letter. I have it right here. I didn't know that this thing would mean the world to me one day. I don't know how she got it, but I'm going to read it in Uganda. Yagamba nti to Margaret Nabirio, owomukwano muto wange, munnange, tukwagala nnyo nnyo. Mukama akuwa ekyosinga okwagala. Nkwagaliza Merry Christmas n'omwaka ogw'essanyu n'abaana bange. Nsiime byonna by'okolera bonna. N'agamba from Goreti, Mukama akwongere bonna obulamu. To those people who don't understand Luganda, I'll read this to you, what the last letter I got from my sister. It says, Dear Margaret, my dear last baby, or our dear last born, we love you so much, and we pray to God to give you whatever you want. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we thank you for everything that you have done for us. From Goreti, may God give you whatever you want in this life and a happy life. So that was the last letter I got from my sister. It means a lot to me. It means the world to me. And whenever I look at it, I just appreciate the time that I spent with my sister, because December 2016, I didn't know that was the last time I was going to see my sister. So Christmas was done. We went home. She was pregnant, of course. So we traveled back to Sweden in January. I think around January 14th. So by the time we traveled, she was pregnant, remember, and we went at the airport, Uganda airport, and she has never, ever cried like she did. Actually, my sister never cries when she said goodbyes. She never did. So, but this day, when they were escorting at the airport, my sister cried so much. My sister cried. You know, like someone saying a goodbye. She cried and cried and cried. Nemubuza, what's up? What's going on? I don't know, I'm too emotional today. I'm too emotional. And then we said goodbyes. So, to cut the story short, during this process between the January and April when she died, every time she could call me, ngangamba Maggie, omwana agenda kunzita. This baby is going to kill me. It feels like the baby is kicking in my heart. The baby is kicking my heart. The baby is going to kill me. Namongamba mkwano. Olimi Rutonzi, don't say like that. He will never kill you. He used to call him Klein because Klein is my son. So he would say Klein is going to kill me because it was a son and we were very excited and we would sometimes laugh about it and we let it go because we knew like, yeah. So I remember one time I got to know when my sister died. Actually, I have to tell you this before, I think. I got to know that I want to tell you, it will come a little bit later on. So it was around March, I called my sister because I was like, this pregnancy is taking long. And I told her, when is the due date? Because I always asked her, even though I knew that she was going to be due at any time or whatever, but I always kept on asking her, when is the due date? When is the due date? When is the due date? So I remember one time I told her, you know what, you have to go to the doctor and they check the baby. And she was like, nja kugenda sewulira bulungi. And she never did. So I didn't take it like when you're pregnant, you have no time. You get tired. Some pregnancies are like that. So I remember before the Easter time? Before the Easter, I think it was on Friday. I think because I was working, I remember. I think either it was Friday or Thursday because I was working and I was looking forward to the Easter. So nali wakumulimu ogonga ngamba iye naye time lwaki time tedduka onako lwaki very slow. Ngoro I talked to my sister the day before. And I felt like the day was not hurrying. I don't know why I wanted it to hurry. I don't know. And from that day, I never ever want the day to hurry. I just thank God for the day and I'm done with it. So on Christmas, on Easter time, the day wasn't hurrying. So I was like, you know that feeling. So Easter comes, me and my kids, we are prepared. I called my sister and we talked, and after talking, we hanged up and that was it. Then Easter Monday comes at around 1 a.m. Ugandan time. And here it was around, because it was summertime, so it was around 12 p.m. 1 p.m. Ugandan time, and here it was 12 p.m. So they called me and they told me, hey, Goretti, olubuto lumuluma nagenze mu ddwaliro. Agambye, bannange lutuuse nti ye lutuuse ng'akolaki nga bamutwala. The moment my sister we yalinnya mu motoka batumutwala mu ddwaliro, that's when everything changed. She went to the hospital that was in Entebbe Grade B. When she reached there and they put her on the bed, bamuteka katanda, and her pressure started going high. My sister by 4 p.m. she was bleeding because my brother called me at around 3 here and he told me that Goreti nomunanga avamo omusaayi bleeding. And I was like, because for me, when you have had children, for me, I had the same problem because my daughter, I was vomiting and I was bleeding and it was normal. So I was like, it's actually normal. When a person is bleeding, it's okay, because I thought that it wasn't bleeding like bleeding. It was like, I thought it was just drop of blood that was coming. So I told them it was okay to have the bleedings when you're going to have baby. So he kept on at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I was like, my brother called me at 8 p.m. Ugandan time. Nangamba, girl, he's still bleeding. Banange. And the doctors kept on saying, they telling the dagger, bring this kind of medicine, do this, do that, do this. And they ignored her completely. She had no oxygen. She had no blood, even though she was bleeding as hell. She had no blood. She had no oxygen. She was just there for God's mercy. So after bleeding for a while, the baby died in the stomach. Yeah, because when the baby takes in this, the blood, so the blood did made it like when you take in some toxic, the baby died in the stomach. And I asked them what's going on. Nothing was going on. The doctors were not bothering. It was Easter Monday. Nobody gives an F. At 10 Swedish time, and that was 11 p.m. at night. That's when my sister breathed her last breath. They called me. Nali mbuliri nakayingira benti mbuliri ntera kujjako WhatsApp yange naye this time nali njijjeko nenjizayo. When I jijjako nenjizayo to check my WhatsApp, then I found that my brother had called me and left a message, and he was crying. He was saying, Maggie, go right here food day. Nengamba, this man must be kidding. The woman went to give birth and he's giving me information. Margaret is dead. How can that even be possible? Like everything, I was just freezing. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to react. I didn't cry at the moment, but I was just stuck. And I called him. He was like, yeah, she is no more. She has died. And I called the hospital. I called the people who were at the hospital in Bagamba, Mikwano. You told me she was bleeding, but you did not tell me that the blood was coming out too much. You did not. And nainga ba doctor baita obuyisi bamuita ko buyisi, and she could tell you, they tell the story that she was like, ngenda kufa munyambe mumpe kumazi. She drank a lot of water. She was really thirsty and she was bleeding to death. So in simple times, my sister did not die in labor. She did not die in labor. My sister died before the labor started. Because most women die when they're pushing or the baby does this, but she died before the labor started. Do you understand what I mean? It's weird. It's complicated. And it makes me wonder, the people at the hospital, how can that be possible that someone who has been there and been taking all the medications? I forget to tell you that my sister, this is the hospital that she's been having since when she got pregnant. That's where she was. So she was not new there. But how can it be possible that even when the blood was flowing, they did not have her blood group? They did not have any blood group of her. They did not. Her husband tried to get the ambulance, but it was too late. With the jam in Kampala and everything, my sister did not make it. She died even before the ambulance came. She died. And the doctors were just ignoring her. And it's so sad that I didn't know that the baby had died, because when she died, I was like, okay, at least we have the baby. At least we have something to look at. And when I asked them, where is the baby? They told me, abadde tannasindika mwana, abadde tannatambula centimeters wera. She had not started dilating. My sister was not into typical labor when she died. She was not. Dear women, this is a very sad story, and I want to bring up because it was almost 4 years ago when I lost my sister. And I wish I knew better by then. And I wish I knew better. Njagala bagamba nti, whenever you go to the doctor and they tell you the problem you have, please endeavor to follow it up. My sister died because the baby was too big. My sister died because the doctors, her doctor, who was by then on off, had told her, munange tojja sobola sindika mwana. Tukole operation, cesarean, will remove the baby at 6 months. That's what the doctor said, and that's what the letter was saying. But my sister was like, no, sobola kuzaala premature. Nja mukweka omwana wange, nja mubeezaawo paka ku myezi 9 nja mwetika. Because she believed in God. Because she knew God would never ever let her down. And she wanted so much to have a full-time baby, like a baby who is not in the incubator. Like, that was not God's will. So when you go to the hospitals and you hear what the doctor has to say, always listen carefully. Always listen, because they have reasons as to why they are saying the things. Osanga sister wange yandibaddewo singa yakkiriza ne bamugyamu omwana ku myezi 6. Omwana ne bwe yandifudde, Mukama yandimblessinze n'omwana omulala. Naye yagenda n'agaana. N'azaala mwana we, naye n'omwana teyamuzaala, ate n'obulamu teyabufuna. Ebintu bino abakyala bitumenya nnyo, kubanga at the end of the day, we are the mothers. Ffe tufa. For the man can continue living their lives, and I will not take this blame to men. Naye blame nteka ku basajja nti if men you took time to follow your women to the internal care, some things would be avoided. Ebintu ebimu musobola byavoidinga, kubanga bw'omanya nti mukyala tasobola kupushinga, badokita ne bamugamba nti tasobola kupushinga, be there for them, support them. Balage mukwano, tukikole kijja kubitamu bwekiti ne bwekiti. Then the moment we're focusing ennyo ku ssente, you're going to lose the woman and the child. Wandibanga ne bw'omuluzi nga takuluma. Now this person is someone's daughter. Ono mwana wa muntu. So, bw'oba olina muganda wo ng'ali lubuto, ng'olina sister wo ng'olina mukyala wo ng'ali lubuto, don't hide away from internal care. What is it called? Yeah. Follow them up. Guide them. Be there for them emotionally. Support them. I know my sister died a happy person because she was in love with the person she loved, and she died trying. But it's not okay to die while giving a life. That is not okay. So, dear beloved people, please take care of yourselves. Take care of your families and think about other people before you start being too selfish. And for the medical workers, I have no kind words for you. Because when my sister died, I was going to Entebbe grade B, because it is now bakireta nti omuntu bw'afanga azaala eddwaliro eryo liri gundi answerable. I was going to Entebbe grade B, and I was stopped by my family. They told me that even if you go there, she will never ever come back. But my thing was not about my sister coming back. My suing the Entebbe grade B doctors and nurses who were there, or midwives who were there, was to ensure that no any other woman dies in the same way, while they keep on telling us, go buy this medicine, go buy this medicine, go buy this medicine. That's exactly what they did to my sister. They bought all kinds of medicine. And my mom reached even an extent, nagamba naye dokita, mukyala wange mukoledde ki? Nkuwe ssente osobola okumutaasa. Nagamba ezo ssente okyazeetaaga nnyo. Kitegeeza he knew exactly what was fucking going on. Excuse my language. He knew that my sister was going to die, but he was not willing to let her go anywhere for a better treatment. He knew that. But may you never get peace, whoever was in their hands when my sister was dying. Because I remember mukyala waffe bambi yamukwata bw'ati n'amugamba mama asima ngenda. Mukyala waffe n'amukwata bambi nasse omukka ogusembayo. Omusawo yalabanga sister wange afudde, n'akyoka aleeta oxygen bw'amuteekeko. N'agamba vaayo muteekeko oxygen. Mukyala wange n'amugamba naye musawo, ogenda teeka oxygen ku mulambo. Think seriously. How can you? person who was there from 1 o'clock, you never cared to give her oxygen. You never cared to give her blood because you didn't know her blood group, even though she was there. You did. And when she's dead now, you want to give her oxygen. What for? Why would you give oxygen to a dead person? Why? It's like oxygen. How can you try to give oxygen to someone who is already dead? This hurts me so bad. I'm sorry, but something is so... You are so mean. You are so mean. You are so mean. How can you let someone die, and when they are dead, mugamba kamuwe oxygen? Ngata kyalina wadde ntunuusi. Omukago muwedde mama. Alwanye hours essuka mu 10 mama. Agenda mu hours 12 alwana. Namusalawo kamuwe oxygen. Ngamaze okusomuka gwo bw'enkomerero. I don't know if I will ever forgive anyone who was there when my sister was losing her life. I don't know. If you're in that shift, if it doesn't happen to you, may it happen to your family. Namwe mukitegere naffe mulumya tuli bantu. Mukitegere nti abantu abo mutta abantu baffe tubaagala ku mitima. Andibanga mambalabanga kasazi naye wabaye omuntu amagala omuntu ne bwaba mwavu mutya. Aba ne family ye. We loved Gorette meant a lot to me. She meant the world to me. She was my only sister. She was the person who was a sister. A person who I talked to, and she would always advise me. I never even ever tried to go astray when my sister was still around. I'll always ask her. Yes, you can see that I have my mother. My mother is my very good friend, but my sister was something special in my life. I always listen to her because there are things that I cannot tell my mother. There are things I cannot tell my mother, but my sister, she was everything to me. My children loved my sister. Kia and Clayton, when I told them that my sister is dead, they asked me, how about the baby? Mama, how about the baby? I was like, the baby is also dead. And they're like, but you told us the baby is... You start now. We're very excited. What's going on? Where's the baby? My kids were so disappointed because they were very excited towards the baby, because that was the first baby in the family when they're like understanding everything. You disappointed my children. You disappointed my family. You disappointed everything on this earth. So if you know you were there when my sister was dying, may it befall you as well. Ekyo kikolimu nkisindika mu famire yammwe kibabeereko na buli muntu yenna nga wafiirwako omuntu naye ng'omuntu ono yafa bulabulagajjavu b'abasawo Mukama abalemu basonyiwa. Nze sifuddeyo bangenda mugeyeena kangende naye nga I will never forget anyone. I will never forgive and forget you. I will never. Nandibanga sisobola kukozesa amateeka nga bwe galagira naye ekikolimu kya Mukama kijja bankolerako. Guys, thank you for watching. I hope this is it's a very emotional thing, but I hope it has helped you to understand that there are things that happen in life. They shape us, and for a mother, I cannot even imagine. My mom, I looked at my mother. Abana be yabekuliza single mother. Omwana we nafanga akuze. Afudde afiiridde emikono gy'abayita abasawo abataasoma busawo. Amaziga ga maama wange sirigeerabira mu bulamu bw'ensi eno. Banaye teri muzadde asaanye kuziika mwana we ne bw'aba muto. Teri muzadde musaasira abazadde baffe. Kale mmwe temwagala kukola mirimu gyammwe. Ne musaasira abazadde abatuzaala. azadde abamu basindikira ku bitooka abazadde abamu baabasala ng'omwana w'omutta. Muntu yajjirwa gavumenti kubanga singa waliwo amateeka agafuga abasawo singa abantu abakyala tebakyafa batyo ne lwabba nti mwe mugira mulina bye mufunamu ne musalawo mututtira abantu baffe bwe mutyo musalawo mututtira abantu bwe mutyo. Oyinza okumbuuza nti sisita bwe yamala okufa omwana bamumugjamu ku olwo. Omwana sisita wange bwe yafa omwana bamumulekamu neŋŋenda enkeera bamugjamu enkeera ku lwokubiri ku makya omulambo nga bagutwala ewa taata oguziika bamugjamu omwana. Naye era nga bwe mubimanyi ebya Uganda bino n'okubba ebigundi, I'm very sure balina kye babaze okugjamu. Omwana bagenda ne bamuziika ewaabwe ne mukulu wange bamuleeta ewa taata ne bamuziika. Naye ekintu ekyo ng'omuntu kyanshepinga nnyo, kyanzikiriza. Kye kimu ku bintu ebyampaliriza n'okuddayo nsome kubanga oba singa nnali nasoma obusawo muganda wange nandimutaasizza. Ebyo byonna mbiregrettinga. Naye it wasn't the right time. Mukama alina kyategeka. Bwe ntyo bwe nali nnyonyi.